Hello and welcome to Pest Perspectives episode 30. Pest Perspective is all about the pest management industry. If you've not listened to it before, it's aimed at educating and entertaining. It's CPD scheme approved, so you can get your CPD points for next year. On the British Pest Register, you'll be able to get this episode and all previous episodes. If you do use Basis Prompt, I have got 10 codes, but not for the current episode. So if you have missed certain shows, I can give you the codes for them, but you're only allowed six podcasts per year with Basis Prompt. I've got 10 codes. It's very different to how the British Pest Register do it, because basically you can actually apply for every podcast I've ever done on there. It's very different. But as long as you learn, it's the main thing. You pick up bits and pieces. This week, we have on Peter Stewart from Aberkil. There we go. Pest control. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Yeah. Just getting through the busy summer.
Yeah, it's a good one. Did you get a lot of wasps up there?
Absolutely.
You do?
I would say we've quadrupled the amount of calls.
Yeah?
That
Okay.
we had on that. Well, last year was terrible. But no, I've got 4 vans on the road up here.
Yeah?
Doing wasps all day.
Oh, that's good then, because it's we've had a all right summer. I wouldn't go saying it's a record year compared to previous. Well, anything beats last year though. 160 nests the entire year.
Yeah, well,
we have done hundreds obviously this year, but I don't think we're going to get a record breaker compared to previous.
Well, I actually went out a few days and done a couple of 12-hour shifts doing wasps.
I think did you post something on Facebook one day when you did a wasp nest? Was it you?
I've posted a few things on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's reel it right back. Let's just tell people who you are and what you do before, if people don't know who you are on the podcast. So tell people who you are and what you do at the minute. Right.
So I'm Peter. I'm the proprietor of Aberkil up in Aberdeen, the northeast of Scotland. I'm not a limited company. I'm a sole trader.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, sole trader. And I have been in the industry a long time, since 1984. Started off with Rent-A-Kill and then started up my own later, and actually sold it at one point, and then I come back. I liked it so much that I came back, and I thought I would just come back and work off a van and be happy with my lot. Yeah. But unfortunately, I've got to say I got too good at marketing, and the business grew again. So that's basically me. I've also been a director of the British Pest Control Association at one time.
Nice.
And I'm very proud to say that I got the first training course in Scotland, residential, in 60 years.
That's good. That is. They're always complaining about there's not enough courses in Scotland in general. Because I don't know if you know Andrew McDonald, who runs UK Patangs. No. Highland Pest Response. He's from Scotland. He's been on the podcast, and he's always saying,
"UK for what?"
UK Patangs. They sell mole traps.
Oh, right. Okay.
And he's always saying there's not enough going on in Scotland. He's right, like courses and stuff.
Yeah, but to be fair, we're not a big industry. I mean, one of the reasons the regional meetings came about, again, because it's something I done, because it would take me 3 days to go for a 4-hour meeting somewhere in England.
Yeah,
so
crazy.
I proposed to the committee that why don't we get regional meetings? And that's where the regional meetings come from. So We've even got
Good.
them in Scotland
That's
as
good
well.
stuff.
And
That is.
then I once gave a talk at a meeting where
Yeah.
I proposed that we do online training, but that was years ago. You'll see that in the BPCA's magazine from years ago. And I remember Richard Strand at the time saying to me, Peter, some of these guys don't even have an email yet. That's how far back we're going. Yeah, they didn't have emails. They didn't know
Well,
how
I'll tell
to
you
use
what it
that.
shows, though. It shows you're a forward thinker.
Oh, well,
It shows.
I've always classed myself as a bit of a visionary. Yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing that happened was when Sorex was in the go, I was invited out to their think tank. And I'd said to Roger at the time, I says, see, when we go into a farm and we take out a bucket of rodenticide and it says, at the time, Sorex on it, the farmer would say, I can buy that myself. So with that, they took out the Sorex Pro range. And later on, he told me, he says, Peter, that was one of our best sellers. So that's
Nice. I've never heard of that before. The product.
Well, that was Sorex as well before your time.
It is.
And I'm glad to say we've got online training as well. So we've really got everything covered now. But it's nothing like a face-to-face meeting. So I'm glad they've got them in Scotland as well.
No, it is right, because I'll be honest, there is a difference between online training is good, but I would say that if you were doing something like, I don't know, your RSPH level 2 in pest management award, but say the award bit, because it causes a lot of trouble online, or your level 3, you need in-person training really to get it all to sink into your brain. There's certain things you can do online, but in my opinion, when you do big courses like that, you need to be in person, really.
And not even that. Standing in a classroom, in the early days, you've got to go out with another technician, really, to learn the job. That's what I do. Or anybody new that came to me, it was on the job training with the other technician. Sometimes I would go out with them in the early days, and then I remember because courses were hard to get, I would get on the job training, and I've had 2 guys. I bought the pest manual, and I said, read it, because you're going to be doing an exam in it, and the 2 of them passed. That's just good. By reading the one that you get, the RSPH book. So everything's in there you need, plus the online going around doing the actual work as well. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just whether it sticks in your brain. Some like me, I passed second time round. I passed the rodents first, and then second time round I passed the invertebrates and the health and safety legislation. But annoyingly, apparently the actual modules, I like missed it by a few points each. Literally, I did. But I'm not afraid to say that happened, because it does. I'm not going to lie. I didn't pass first time, but it doesn't really matter. I got there in the end.
I know someone else that happened in the early days and phoned me up and helped them, and they've got a very big business now.
Well, that's nice.
They feel, right? Obviously, I won't mention who it is. So that's what can happen. But theory, that's when I interview people for jobs, I don't really look at their qualifications, their ologies and their university degrees. In fact, Sean, all my people are actually over 55.
Okay. A lot of experience then, basically.
Well, no, absolutely no experience.
Oh, no?
When they come in. I train them.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of reasons, because they're glad of a job at that age, right?
Yeah.
And they're willing to work and make it interesting for them. Okay. I mean, I had a guy join me at age 68.
Really?
Still works for me. 72 now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he still works for me. And all the guys recently have been over 55. But I actually got some publicity through it from a paper. But then I got dogs abuse because I didn't employ young people, but I did, and it only lasted a week.
Yeah, the thing is, though, it's like
It couldn't last.
it's what you want to do, but it's whether they also are right for the job and want the job. That's the thing. If they want it, or they just try it and they don't last long, you know.
The other thing with me is I started off life as a soldier, and everybody that's came to my business, practically everybody, has had some form of military training, even if that in the Army Cadet Force. I even got a chap who works for me. He's a Malaysian Indian, and he's as more Aberdonian as you can get. He's broad Aberdonian accent. He was in the Malaysian Army.
Nice.
So everybody, I've had people from the Navy. I've never had anybody from the RAF. But
the next goal, you need an RAF person.
So, and so
no, that's good. That it's but like I've heard a lot about interviewing people, and I've heard it on various bits of podcasts where, because so what I heard, interviewing in 2025 isn't like it used to be, is it? You can't. Well, you're not supposed to say certain things like ask. What's it called? To say you're employing, I don't know, a lady.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to say, "Are you planning on having any kids in the future?" And stuff like that.
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
Things like that. But it's like, well, it's just me and my dad, to be honest. So I never actually experienced interviewing people.
Mm-hmm.
But I have heard people like, I think Hugh Radford. I think he was interviewing a load of people, and he said on his podcast that he asked the guy actually, "What is a pest control technician?" And he said, "I don't know, mate. I just applied." But he said a lot of them were like that. They didn't really know what they were signing up for.
I'll tell you, I was over in Portugal and I put out an advert, and I got a guy phone up, and he said to me, "What's the wages?" I says, "I thought you might be telling that because it was in the advert."
There you go.
So and I says, "So what you doing now?" I'd asked him a couple. I said, "What you doing now?" He says, I'm sitting in McDonald's having a burger." I said, "That's fine." And when I told him my wage, he says, "That's why you're not getting on," he says, "and that's why you can keep on eating your burger," I said, and put the phone down.
Oh, okay.
And
fair enough.
I'm used to old formal interviews, and I'll tell you, I've actually stopped a couple of interviews. Not to. I got there from my cousin went for a job. He was a university graduate many years ago. And I always remembered he went for a job with a local television station, and he was called back, and he thought, "Wow, I'm getting a second interview."
Yeah.
I went in, and the chap says to him, I won't say his name, he says, "Just to say to you, that was probably the worst interview I've ever done, and I've brought you back to try and help you." Now, I've done exactly the same. A young soldier come in. He was absolutely shaken. And he was getting nowhere. I says, "Listen, I'm stopping the interview now. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to help you for your next interview."
Nice.
Right? And I says, "But there's no way at this point in time I could take you on. You're not confident enough." And because I'm actually a public speaking trainer as well. And I just try and help people, And so always there's a couple of interviews. I've had some funny interviews, like a guy come in. A lot of the guys that will be in the army will laugh at this. This guy was 22 years in the army and reached the rank of Lance Corporal, which means he didn't go anywhere. And I said to him, "Are you scared of heights?" And he looked at me and he said, "Have you read my CV?" I goes, "Yes." I says, "I was a soldier too." and I'm scared of heights. And his face went white. Blew him. And so that was the end of that interview as well. So I says, "Did you expect it to be like a sergeant major if you'd done 22 years in the army?" But he was a lance jack, and squaddies don't know that, you know.
So what's that like? You sit in offices and stuff. Is that kind of?
Well, this guy, I found out he was a storeman.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and I won't say anymore about that. I do.
That's fair. That's fair enough. But no, it's there is a lot of veterans getting into the industry. There is a lot of veterans coming into pest control. There is a lot of
there always has been.
There's a lot of London firms that take on a lot of veterans, like Mark Mosley, who was on The Apprentice. He takes on a lot. I think all of his veterans.
I've got to say, but I've got to say, I've been let down by a couple recently. You know, which I won't go into.
No, okay. I've just seen something. I'm sorry, I've never seen this before.
What?
Someone's posted on LinkedIn a very nice gesture to help someone struggling with an interview. Very true. I didn't know you could. I didn't know you could hide your name. But thank you for watching.
Some people put their name or when they post, the system. But anyway, thank you very much, interviewer. But I mean, I've employed a few people over the years, and one of the things is, if you've got a business, right?
Yeah.
You've got to look after the people that work for you, right?
Yeah.
I get up in the morning, I look at an app, and I just let the guys get on with it.
Yeah.
And then if they need me, they phone in.
Yeah.
Now, we've got trackers that we don't even use.
Okay.
It's there if there's an accident, and we had someone complain saying we hit their car, but we didn't because it was in a different area.
Ah, see, that's a good. Yeah.
So one thing that I found is look after the people that work for you. I've had a couple of people that didn't work out, but I've only, in all the years, I've only sacked somebody once in my life, despite many efforts to change their ways.
Yeah, well,
not a thing. I like a happy workforce.
Well, that's how you keep the best people. Apparently, you've got to keep the workforce happy, and if you don't, they'll find somewhere else eventually.
I mean, it got so bad one day, right?
Yeah.
That the guys turned up at my door, my house.
Okay.
Because I hadn't been in touch with them, they thought I was ill. They come looking for me.
Okay.
I said, I can see the app, I just let you get on. And I never phoned them or anything.
Yeah.
I often say, why am I here? But they phone in for advice, and I go, I thought you might have known that. But anyway, this is what it is, and this is what you do.
It's nice, that is, though, because it's you don't know everything, and there's always a learning curve, or something new, or something you've not done, or a different angle.
Yeah, well, what I do with new people, Andy, my supervisor, now says to them, this is what he says to them.
Yeah.
If Peter asks you around for a cup of tea to his house, he says, you'll get a cup of tea. He says, but you better start thinking. And they go, why? Because when you come in, you get a verbal examination.
Yeah.
I do a cup of tea, 2 sugars, milk. There you go, sit down. Now tell me, I'll say, how many droppings does a mouse have? How much water do they drink? What's the moisture content? Bang, bang, bang. And I say, every question that I ask you, the customer will be asking you as well.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, and I'll never forget. I took a brand new guy, our first job. I says, I'll come with you. And we went to a house, and it was going to have to be spraying. And we got in, and the woman kept asking questions about the chemical and the active ingredient, and I clicked on right away. And I says to her, what do you do for a living? She goes, I'm an industrial chemist. And these people want to know about it, right? So when I got the new technician out, I says, now, did you see that on your first day? He goes, yeah. I says, you need to learn all that.
Never had anyone question me to that degree yet. I haven't.
So I said to the lady, thanks for all that question, because this is his first day. And I said, I'm glad I was able to answer them. So that's what I do on the job. Leave the guys to get on with it. And if someone's struggling, I'll have a meeting. We'll have a bacon roll, and I'll ask them questions. And then I will ask if there's anything they're unsure of. And
that's nice. That is. But thanks, Kurt, for watching over on LinkedIn. I appreciate it, mate.
Okay.
So when did you hinted before the podcast and the other day, when did you first meet rats then? See rats?
Funnily enough, when I joined the army, I was sent over to Berlin, and there was an armoured squadron there with chieftain tanks. And we were out the back one day beside the rubbish bins, beside the quartermaster's store, and someone moved it in, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, there was rats squealing and they were jumping in the air. Now, we were British soldiers ready to fight the Russians at the other side of the wall. We turned and we ran screaming. that was my first introduction to rats. Yeah. And then when I got introduced to cockroaches, I was down in a place called Sinalager. And you know, sometimes they're called the steam fly as well.
I didn't know. I've not heard that one, but I didn't know.
German cockroaches. So basically steam fly. So I made coffee and they had steam that heated up the coffee. Yeah. And then when I stirred my coffee, I was about 6 cockroaches swirling around it. And they'd come out of the steam as well, out of the pipe. And so that was my introductions to pests. And so it was quite fun. So when I come out of the army, I've done a couple of things. And I then I heard there was a job going with Aberkil. And I went down, knocked at the door, and I said, I hear there's a job going here. And they said, how do you know? It's not even advertised. I said, as ways of what they didn't know. I knew somebody that worked in Aberkil. I didn't work for them. And the guy that owns, Jimmy, he passed away. He owned Graham Pest Control. That was the father.
Okay. Yeah. I've heard of them. Yeah.
He was the Aberkil service manager, and he took me on. And the other reason I got the job is the branch manager had been a major in the army as well.
Oh, okay.
So that's how I got in. And then I eventually started up on my own. So that was my introduction to rats.
Oh, so yeah. It's a good story. I'll tell you, it's a funny story. You're about to go to war, but no, let's run away from these rats instead.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, we were terrified. And
were they big? Were they big?
Oh, as big as cats, as they would say. That's it. They were big as cats.
I have heard that. I have. So with because obviously there's a lot of people that started out with Aberkil. Did you do you like their trade? Because apparently the one thing people say about working for Aberkil is you get great experience in learning how to sell, and the training is excellent.
Well, I had a chap who's passed away. I went out with him. Bill Halliday was his name, and he was a long, steady guy. Yeah. And I went out with him, learned from him. Yeah. Knew his job, and then I got my own patch. I had to go for training. Yeah. They kept you up to date with news bulletins and everything. Then sent to your house, and then I had to go to Dundee once a week to do my course. But they never ever give me a certificate. So when I left and started up my own, I'd actually do it all over again myself.
Oh, okay.
I passed with flying colours, I'll have you know. Part 1 and part 2, which doesn't exist anymore.
Good. I would agree on the training. Thanks for
Yeah,
tuning in, LinkedIn user. I've
yeah.
never seen this before. I haven't.
Well, don't worry. Just keep going. The show goes
Oh,
on.
yeah. But yes, but it's weird how they never gave you a certificate though. That is
Uh, just one of those
strange.
things. Just one of those.
Well, you
It's
mastered it
weird
anyway.
when you do your RFPH as well. Usually the firm pays for it and they retain it.
Oh, I wouldn't know because it's
Yeah,
our firm. So
yeah.
I
Well,
will.
if people want it, and some people hand it over, others says no, that's ours. And if they buy it for RSPH, get another one for themselves.
Oh, right. We
So
just
that,
it's all in the price. But then again, I am a
yeah,
director with my dad, so it's not like I work
yeah.
for
I know
a
it's
company.
when you
So
start employing people, it's different, you know.
oh,
And
it will be because a lot of people you
so,
could put them you could put them through, then they could leave. Oh,
well,
you've put me through, I'll
what a lot
leave.
of businesses can do now by law, they can actually put you in the course and they
Yeah,
sign an agreement that if you leave within a certain period of time. When I was a bus driver as well, even a bus
yeah.
driver, I could sign
Okay.
that I would be there for a certain time, or I'd have to pay them back.
So
And
fair enough because it's not. I'll be honest. Back then, I would say the level 2 course is a lot cheaper now. But I've heard that these courses used to be 2 or 3 grand to do. The the level 2 award.
yeah.
Is that right?
Well,
They used to be really expensive.
I've got to say that the BPC have got an online one.
Have they?
Yeah, it cost you £500, I think, around about that. And I
Yeah.
bought it for one of my guys before because
Yeah.
to travel away to England and stuff like that, it's more than a week out of the business, etc. I says,
It's,
here's the book, here's the course, learn it.
yeah.
And I had one chap, I says, have you been looking at it? He goes, oh, well, when I can. I says, and then I says, your examination's next week.
Oh no.
And he went,
You need more
what?
time than that.
What?
You
I
do.
says, well, you better get tore into it. But he passed.
Good.
And that was what I put in. So it can be done, but I think you're better to go on a residential course. And I did do an online course with,
Yeah.
I put a new guy on right away, but that was a mistake. He wasn't in the business long enough. He just didn't have enough experience, right?
Yeah. Because
So I put him on too early. That was done online during
yeah.
COVID, and he eventually retired earlier than he should have.
Okay.
And so that was that. So what I would do now is my advice to people is keeping them with you for a while. You make sure you're ready for them, then put them on the course.
Or you could get them to do the basic principles in rodent control and insect control.
Well, you've got to do that anyway because
Well, you have.
otherwise,
Yeah.
you're not.
That's what I did. I started in 2020 in the pandemic. I did my courses online with Killgerm.
Okay.
Both of them, and then eventually roll round to 2024. No, yes,
Yeah.
2025 we're in now. So I did it in 2023 October. I had to retake it in April of 2024 and passed. The level 2 I'm on about. The real level 2 people.
Yeah.
And that causes a lot of controversy the way you word it. It does. It wasn't a day course, but
I got the equivalent to level 3.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
But here's the thing. When they came out with the CRU and you must have the rodent handling course, I said, where's the courses in Scotland then?
Oh, yeah.
Where's the courses in Scotland? Now, in the early days, I actually had to go to Lantra for our training for new people. But again, only when they had courses on. So I says, how could you say you need this and you can't provide? But did you know that a government has something a lot of people won't know? Do you know you have to get an annual MOT for your vehicle?
Yeah.
Did you know you can go to the local fire station, etc., and who do their own ones? right? So
I
if the
heard this. The
so
police
if
do
the,
too.
yeah, so if the government makes you do something, they've got to provide the service.
Yeah,
So I went down to a place called Stonehaven, booked it in,
yeah.
and he done all the MOTs for the fire brigade and people like that. And I says, have you noticed there's a lot of people coming in with cars and things? He went, yeah. He says, why is that? And I thought, he says, I never knew that. So what happened is he got
Yeah.
flooded with cars, and
Yeah.
they couldn't get the fire engines in and things like that in time because they
Oh,
got flooded, because the government has to set it up,
Oh
right?
no.
Well, another entrepreneur's book, what do you call that guy? It was in the Dragons, Duncan Bannatyne,
Oh,
right?
Duncan Valentine, yeah.
Yeah, so I read his book, and he says anything the government demands you do, go to the government website and you'll find where you can get it done by them.
Interesting, that is.
They can't force you to go to a third party, you see.
Because I'm sure I see online once something about somebody, you know how people Google like police cars registering stuff? And I'm
Yeah,
sure it said it wasn't MOT'd or taxed or something. And the
yeah,
police replied with, it's not a legal requirement for police vehicle. Something like that. I don't know which one it was. And they
yeah.
replied with, it's not a legal requirement for a police vehicle or something.
Well, I
We
can't,
do it
I can't
ourselves.
I don't know that one. So
But
that's
who knows? I can't
that's
remember what it
one of the
was.
things in life that I found out, all these little things. Let's go back to pest control.
We will. So, what made you start up your own pest firm then? What made you want to do it? Was there a pinnacle moment when you left Rentokil and thought, I'm going to set up myself?
I'm going to take you back to when I was 14 years old.
Okay.
I left school with no education, but a teacher said
Yeah.
to me, we were in a class. We just didn't want to learn, to be honest. But I done a motivational talk on this one day to 500 people, and he said, I want you to write everything that you're going to do with your life. Right? And mine was easy. I was going to join the army. I was going to have a lorry driver's license.
Yeah.
And I said, one day I will have my own business.
Okay.
I done everything by age 27. Right?
Nice.
So it's like having a business plan. If anybody here's listening now, and I forgot to write a business plan later on in life, but I have now,
yeah.
and boy, does it work. Write down what you're going to do with the next 5 years with your business. Okay? And then look at it. I had a bad time a couple of years ago. Okay, I'll be honest. And I got a chap in to say, have a look at my business. He says, you've got a good business, Peter. He says, you actually run it better than some people that have got £3 million turnover business I deal with. I says, okay.
Yeah.
He says, you're weak at bookkeeping. And so I says, you're right, because we're too busy doing the work.
Yeah.
And I had a bookkeeper that wasn't getting things right. So we changed it to a second bookkeeper who made it worse. And now I found a third bookkeeper.
Okay.
Who's got everything done within a month and sorted everything out. Cost me a lot of money.
Yeah.
So Pete's tip for any new people that are listening, don't get your wife to do the books. Don't try and do them when you come home at night. Get a professional bookkeeper to do it for you. And they'll be on tip top, right? And
that's good advice.
That's what I would say to people. And it's I think it's one of the weakest areas you can do. And people say to me, why don't you do it yourself? I says, you've no chance. I couldn't even do school homework. I says, everybody in their place. Okay, it costs you money, but I know they're getting done right now.
Well, yeah, we've got an accountant that we send all our books to. And they do it, and it's worth the money, because if you ever make a mistake,
well,
they will find it. They will.
There's two different people. There's accountants who do end of year, and then you've got the bookkeepers who do the bookkeeping week to week. And then they pass that to the accountant.
Yeah.
To finish
off. So far, we've got everything right. So the accountants are doing a good job so far. So,
but I know I was one of them But we've got it all fixed now. Everything
Yeah.
is like basically clockwork. Touch wood. You get the odd mistake, but
Yeah.
it's really good. And that came through a bit of networking.
Yeah.
I used to go a lot of networks, and I was sitting in a Costa coffee one day with my hands on my head, and this jolly lady comes along, first aid instructor. Hello, Peter, she says English. She says, how are you getting on? I looked up and I says, I'm not. I says, bookkeepers are driving me around the bend.
Yeah.
And she said, why don't you speak to my bookkeeper? And that was history. And that was it fixed. Brilliant.
Yeah, see, people don't realise though. You need to do your books. It's a serious thing. If you make a mistake, or you're doing something wrong, or you're not paying the right VAT or tax or something, you're in serious, deep trouble.
But
it's worth the money in gold. It is.
Let me tell you the best person that I've employed in the last year or two. Who do you think it might be?
Well, the bookkeeper, no.
Nope.
Some kind of business coach. No.
A debt collector.
Oh, debt collector. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They keep ringing us saying, "Do you need some help?"
Well, I can't recommend somebody. This guy, no, yes, I said, no, I don't want you to offend my customers. He says, I won't.
Yeah.
Hold up, my man. He got over £20,000 in.
That's good. That is.
Due to COVID and everything, people hiding from me and stuff like that. He got that money in.
Oh, that's pretty incredible.
You know, and he was really, really good. And he still maintained a good, he's working for my business, in my business name. Hi, just need to sort the books out a bit. I noticed you owe us some money. Oh, could you send us a copy of the invoice? Yeah, I'll get that done for you. And that's how much we brought in. That was bad debt.
Oh, wow, I'll tell you what, so that's a nice number to bring back in.
So, although we're pest controllers, now we're not big like the Ecolabs and the other big names and that. They've all got people for. But when you're a little business, a micro business, I've got 4 vans on the road. I'm a micro business, right?
I find it hard to believe that you're classed as a sole trader, yet you've got 4 vans on the road.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's all. Most sole traders is just one person or 2 people.
You're classed as a sole trader.
Yeah. Because we're limited. It's just me and my dad. We are.
And you went limited, right? Gives you a limited liability.
We had to go limited. We were told. Well, not limited. VAT registered. We had to go.
Yeah, but if you're a limited company, they'll say you might be limited in liability, but we want a personal guarantee from you should anything go wrong. We want you to pay up personally. So there you go.
Yeah.
Right. So hopefully people have learned from that. Let me tell you another thing that I was so grateful for. Okay. Gordon, who was my supervisor at the time, who now passed away at 49, God bless him. I actually ended up ill and I got a triple heart bypass. Gordon ran the business for me. Well, I was out of the game for 6 months.
That's a serious operation, that is.
Yeah, I nearly died. I've nearly died 3 times in my life. And I think it was when I got a VAT bill once, you know. And so Gordon, so gather people. I often say, I've mentored a couple of people in the industry. I say, what's going to happen if you become ill and you are the only person here? What are you going to do to combat that? So what I say to people when they start off, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm never going to employ anybody. No, I couldn't have the worry of that. I'll say, what if you've got the worry of lying in your bed with a broken leg for months? How's your business going to do with that? So even if you get insurance for it, who's going to service the customers who've got rats in their hotel? So I always say to them, go out and get somebody part-time, maybe retired.
Yeah.
Train them up professionally. A lot of good old people out there. And train them to go out and do some work with you. And I know a couple of people that have done that actually thanked me later.
It's a good idea. I mean, to be fair, Did you know I broke my leg twice? Is that why you brought it up?
No, I didn't. How long
Yeah,
were you out of action for?
2020. Couldn't walk for 3 months. I had to learn to walk again. Started going back in the van with my dad when after I think the 4th month, and then 2024 April, February broke it again, and then but yeah, obviously working with my dad, there's another person, isn't there? So,
What
but
would you have done if you were working on your own and
been
no?
knackered, wouldn't I? Been knackered. I would have been knackered.
Anyway,
But
so
it's a great example, though. It is.
here ended the lesson for that one then.
Yeah.
So, and then else you would ask me.
So obviously, I can't. So, what made you after you left Rentokil set? What was it that actually made you set your own business up?
Well, during that story from school, I found that I really enjoyed pest control. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed pest control. And now I was under a restrictive covenant and I saw it through. I didn't want any court action, any hassle. I went and became a milkman.
Okay.
And after a year, I started my business. After delivering milk at 3 in the morning, I would go round knocking in doors and building the business up. I even delivered papers on a Saturday morning in Aberdeen. No, a Sunday morning. And I worked Saturday with the milk.
Yeah.
I was as thin as a rake. I was fit. I was fitter than I thought, you know,
Yeah.
all the walking.
What the covenant mean? Sorry, you went to be a milkman. You said something about you were under a covenant. Were you under like a non-compete? Something?
Yeah, you're under in
Is that what
those
you
days
mean?
when you worked for them, you were under a restrictive covenant, which you couldn't work in your area for 1 year, and you couldn't approach the customers for 2 years.
Right. So you mean like a non-compete agreement? Different wording.
Well,
yeah.
You had no option to sign it to get the job, really.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I actually saw people going to court, and there was a big one when Dynarod came into pest control. I don't know if you know about that.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, it was a big problem back then. But I know another guy that was taken to court. He's retired now.
Okay.
So I just seen it through, done my time, and that's why I'm a fair man. I said, okay, that's your agreement. Then I come back, and then I went hell for leather. And people would say to me, where have you been? When I went in, and I told them, this is, oh, we'll give you the business then.
Yeah.
And I just built it up and built it up and built it up and built it up. And it became so much, because remember, I was still a milkman as well, up at 3 in the morning. And I kid you not, I was working till 10 at night, then back up at 3 in the morning. And it had to go. One of them had to go, and it was the milk. I have bad dreams at 3 o'clock in the morning of an alarm clock ringing because I couldn't do it again.
Yeah.
I had to.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That's a serious work day, 3 till 10 at night. That's serious hard work, that is.
I remember one, I was absolutely shocked. I was working one at a time, and a woman phoned up and says, please, can you help me? No, that was the days of honeybees who can really go in and destroy them. Please, can you help me? They've come in down my chimney. They're all over my house. Yeah. And I said, I'm tired. I'll come out in the morning. Just shut it. No, please. And I said, okay, right. And then she said to me, I thought it was going to be in Aberdeen. She goes, I'm in Fraserburgh. That is a fair journey from Aberdeen. I said, it's quite a few miles. Quite a few miles. And I can't make it. But I remember saying to her, look, I haven't had anything to eat. She says, I'll be a meal waiting for you, she said. And I went up, done the job and had a meal with her. And so it's been some good stories that I actually give talks at local Rotary clubs and everything about being a pest controller, you know.
Really? That's interesting.
Now, you see, that's another way of getting your business name out. Because I know I've had business since I give these talks.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in a cycling club. And also, people phone me from the cycling club. I don't push my business. They know what I do, right?
Yeah.
So it's all part of your marketing. And so I just went out and I used to tell them funny stories. Like I once got called in at 10 o'clock at night again. I says, I'll come tomorrow. And it was a Birmingham accident in Aberdeen. And I said, I'll come out tomorrow. Please, please come now. We've got a rat or a mouse. I says, okay. I says, just let me get dressed. And I went out and it was a flat. And I knocked at the door. And a rather lovely looking lady and her friend behind her, lovely looking too, said, hello, my dear. I says, and I clicked on right away. And I says, oh, listen, I'm the pest control man. Oh, you better come in. Right? And I had a look around and I says, I'll need to check all the rooms. Okay. And they looked at each other and they said, we're working girls. I says, we've all got to make money. And I opened the door. It was a torture chamber.
Wow, good.
With movies on the wall.
Yeah.
So anyway, I done that. And then when I done the job, they turned around, they looked at each other and they said, how do you want paid? So you're looking at the only man from Aberdeen to go to a brothel and come out with money. So that's just one of my stories, you know. We've all got them.
Oh, you've got some good stories, though. To be fair, you've got some wild stories. You have, yeah. So,
it's been a laugh.
What's your favourite pest to deal with? Then you got a favourite?
Bed bugs.
Bed bugs.
You
don't get many people say bed bugs.
Bed bugs. I'll tell you a story. And for the first 10 years in Aberdeen,
yeah,
I had never seen a bed bug for real. And an oil company phoned me and they said, Peter, we've got a house and it's a shared house with all the oil workers. Yeah. So I went down and I went in and I saw bed bugs in a room. I said, so what's happened? And this guy had come out and he said, here's the problem. This guy had a small room. So when someone left another room, he came out of that room. He was from another continent, okay? Yeah. And he went into that room and the new guy went into the new room. And he got bitten that night and he came out and he said to the guy, did you know about these bed bugs? He goes, yes. He says, why? He says, I thought it was normal.
To be fair, I mean, I have heard stories like it where they think it's normal.
Yeah.
And cockroaches too, as well. Yeah.
But the other one I'll never forget, I went to a house in Aberdeen and the woman was absolutely white and shaking. And she just looked shattered. I've never seen anything like it. And the bed bugs were in every room. They were meeting you during the day.
Oh, no.
And I'd said to her, how long have you known about this, my dear? She goes, 3 years. Oh. I says, how do you know 3 years? And she looked at her husband and she says, we went to a caravan holiday, right? Yeah. True story, this. We went to a caravan holiday and there was bed bugs in it. And my husband said, don't worry about it. In holidays like these, you can expect it. So they took him all the way back to Aberdeen for 3 years. Oh. Then I said to her, listen, this is a serious question. Can you tell me the name of the campsite? That was caravans. She told me, I said, oh, thank God for that. I'm going down next week and it's another one next to it.
Yeah. Wow, there you go.
3 years she had it. It was horrific.
Was the husband getting bit?
It was mainly her. For a minute, so long ago, no, you know.
Because I was. It's an interesting thing. Because I had Richard Naylor on the podcast, who's a bit of a guru in the bedbug department, and I mentioned this to him because I said I heard that women particularly get picked, and he said you are right. Mm-hmm. You can have like husband and wife, and it's just a wife. They do. I can't remember what you said. They do go for women over higher body heat or something. There is something like that.
Yeah, he's the man to find out. Like, but
Oh yeah, he's a
So,
proper expert in that department. He is.
yeah. And
Do you do
so
heat
that,
treatments then? Do you do heat treatments or
no, we
what
do
kind of
steam.
treatments do you do?
We
Steam.
do steam
Yeah,
first and conventional spray, and then
yeah,
we go back with another chemical that we use. No, we
yeah.
change it. We've got a very, very good track record with them.
That's good then.
No,
It's,
very thorough. And when we give people a list of what they've got to do before we go, right?
yeah, a prep.
And
Yeah,
we're absolutely shocked. What, we have to do all that? And they say, you want a good job, you know?
yeah.
And so that's the way it is. And we're not the cheapest. I say, listen, if you want a good job, this is the price, you know?
Got to pay for a good job, haven't you? You have.
Yeah, well, we think we're fair, you know?
Yeah,
And so we get our fair share, put it that way. And so we'll always survey them now, because
yeah.
we're not giving a price on the phone just to say, yeah, no, we go in deep.
Yeah,
We've
because a
got
lot of them are just after a price, and you get there, and it could be like, I don't know, 20 times worse than they said on the phone. So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the problem with it.
Well, we've got HMO housing up here, and there's about 20 people living in it for 3 people, stuff like that. You see, and it's so unhygienic. And we say you need to clear this out, etc., etc., etc. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, then? Have you got a pest you don't like doing then, or least favorite?
One of the thing I don't like is snakes, right?
Oh well, we're in agreement there.
Well, a guy phoned me up one day. He says, "Do you do crickets?" I says, "I can do crickets, yes." He says, "Well, they hurt my pets." I said, "What pets you got, like? Because you'll need to put them out." He said, "The problem is I've got a cobra and a rattlesnake." And I said, "Well, I'll tell you what, my friend. I won't be coming near your house. There's no chance. A cobra."
Oh,
Funny, I put a Facebook post up. The next thing, my local paper had written and had found out about how many people actually keep venomous snakes and ever on license in their homes. I was shocked.
Wow.
You know?
Wow. I
I've
couldn't
had a few
imagine.
snake stories, because I went in I went right underneath a building once, a tenement block.
Yeah.
And I was working at it, and I went under the block and I climbed underneath. And then when I got home, my face went white. It said, "Boa constrictor lost in Aberdeen block of flats." It was the block that I was in.
Oh no.
I would have died on the spot.
I don't. Well, it's not thinking it. To be fair, I don't even know if I don't even know if we're allowed to deal with. It's not deemed a pest, is it? With us, with pest controllers, it's not deemed one, is it?
Well, the adder, for instance, is protected species. You're not allowed to kill them.
I've never touched this. I tell you, I went to a job a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And the lovely chap, I did a rodent job in his garden, little garden.
Yeah.
He says to me, "I just want to tell you something, just so you can be careful." I said, "So, what is it then?" "Yeah, little that bait box you've got near the door." I says, "Yeah." "Well, I was stood here the other day." And he says, "Where you're?" So I says, "Where you're stood, a big snake come out." I says, "You're joking?" "No." He said, "Massive." And he slithered off. So I'm so glad you told me. I was so careful. It's unreal. I says, "I think they might." I says to him, "It might have eaten the rats."
Yeah.
And he says, "I think it was an adder." And I says, "I was so careful." I was like, I said, because I said, "I know I'm a pest controller, but I'm not trained in snakes."
No,
I said,
not
I said,
at all.
he warned me, but I didn't see it. He said, "I've never seen it. I've lived here X amount, 60 odd years. I know I've never seen a snake in my garden."
I went over to Florida for a holiday, and when you go over, you look at pest controllers, whatever, and I was speaking to one guy who's outside a Walmart or something, and he says to me, I says, "Do you ever come across snakes?" He says, "All the time." He says, "When I go to a outside bait box, I kick it first." He kicks
We kick it for rats, not for snakes.
No, for snakes. Because snakes go in them.
Oh,
and when you open up, there could be a rattler in it. You know?
Yeah.
I said, "Well, I'm afraid I wouldn't do your job." in you
I,
know.
I, I couldn't imagine, because they do snakes. They do a lot more than we do. A lot more.
Yeah,
They don't kill the snakes. They just pick them up and put them in the bag and move them. I don't think they kill them.
That's right. I watch
Yeah.
people in Canada, you're not allowed to kill them, and I watch a guy there going and picking them up.
They do it in Australia. They just pick them up and they move them.
Yeah, take them away.
They get paid for it.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
But it's still doing it. I was like, oh, not for me.
However, for time, Sean.
How long do you want? How long can you do?
Oh, hey, listen, I'm up till 4 in the morning.
Well, no, it's going about 55 minutes at the minute.
Any other subject you'd like to talk about?
Yeah. So how did you, I believe you got the gift of the gab. How did you build up the business, as in terms of getting new service contracts and customers? Was it you were knocking on people's doors, and how did you get new work? Like, how did you grow as such?
Let me tell you how I started.
Yeah.
I employed a lady here in Aberdeen who's really good at marketing.
Yeah.
So what we've done is we put out 50 letters.
Okay.
We've done 50 phone calls.
Yeah.
Guess how many appointments we got out of that?
10?
30.
30.
And
very
then
well.
when I went to visit them, I sold the contract 15 on the day I went to see them.
That's good. Very good.
And
that is.
Sold to them. It's not that way nowadays. And I actually done that 3 times and we got the same results. So, and if there's anybody listening that's new, in the early days, you've got to go out and fight for the business and use everything, go to network and go to different things. One of the other things is I managed to go into television about once or twice a year as well.
Oh, nice. Did you?
I went on to Radio Scotland and I gave a descriptive job of dealing with rats on a farm. And then the television programme in Aberdeen at the time, they contacted me and they came up for a week and I couldn't walk about Aberdeen. People were coming up to me and having a laugh and stuff like that, And so it was good fun. And the lady it was with me, Polly, and beautiful lady, well, I took her up to a bird job and her blonde hair was covered in pigeon muck and everything. And she said, off camera, she says, you can stick your job up your backside. and I stayed friendly with her over the years. And another guy, his name was John McDonald, he was the same age as me, and any different TV things, he got me on, and local papers as well. So I found that they're always looking for a story. Now the problem I've got now, right? I'm nearly 66. All the journalists, they're young dudes and dudesses now, so I don't have the same, with them. I'm an old man compared to them. So you have to send an email to them, give them a taster. And I would say things, be careful. Big wasp nest this year, one in a Wendy house, child nearly got stung. And they would say, can you stay there? We'll get a photographer around, all these sorts of things. And I knew they would take the bait. And that's how I got onto television and onto the press, etc. Always pushing your name in different ways by giving a helpful angle rather than, hey, let me tell you about my business on telly and get me in, because they know it's advertising. It's changed now. They're quite restrictive now. This is why I'm doing something like a shoot, because I phoned you. You didn't phone me.
Yeah, everyone. Peter phoned my dad, obviously Oakham Pest Control, and asking for me, and my dad passed your number on, and I rang you, and I was very impressed. I was like, someone's rang me up to come on. I thought that was cool. No one's done that yet, and you're the first.
Yeah, well, I know running a podcast, because I done one myself years ago for about 8 years. I know how hard it is to get guests on, because I'll tell you, people are terrified of the camera. No,
Yeah, I've had a lot of people that I want on, but they won't. They
you
are
just
afraid of the camera. Yeah.
you just can't get them on. But I'm lucky. I've been on television a lot. I've even been on the X Factor. I'll have you know.
Really? Mm.
But I
Is
wasn't
your clip
singing.
on the? Oh, it wasn't. It's the clip on YouTube.
Yeah, did you see that singing?
No,
Right.
no, I didn't.
There's a clip of me in TikTok singing for a busker. I give him a
Oh
break
no.
because I'm a part-time singer. And it
Yeah.
was all the young dudes asking for another song.
Was it? Oh.
But no, I actually, if you look at my, I actually am a stand-in for somebody that used to be in the X Factor. Is his double.
Oh.
Louis
Nice.
Walsh.
Oh, Louis Walsh. Oh.
Yeah. So I became a singer at age 46. So that's another one. People say, so what do you do? I say, well, I'm a rat catcher during the week and I'm a rat pack singer at the weekends. That usually goes
Oh.
down well. And I even
Yeah.
get people phone the business and say, is that a guy that looks like Louis Walsh that owns the business? And they go, yeah, you got the right business. And it's all that mix that get people to come to you, you know?
No, it's good. It is. It's like you when you were talking about the newspapers.
Yeah,
I've managed to do that. I've been in the local papers twice this year. One for Wasp,
good for you.
and the other one was because I told them that they thought I went viral on TikTok. I told them I
Yeah,
had.
right.
Oh, what was it? It was 100 and what was it? Something thousand views, and they basically seen it and thought, "Oh, he went viral."
Yeah,
Viral means millions, but it
yeah,
wasn't. And they interviewed me about the
yeah.
business and everything. They did.
Let me, I'll have to tell you this one. So, unfortunately, the guy's not working with anymore. But we done one on Facebook, and I just picked up the
Yeah,
camera one day, and the
yeah,
guy was working with me, and I pulled out the camera, and I just put the camera on the system. How long have you been working with me now? And he said,
yeah,
oh, a couple of years or something. I says, what's the biggest thing that surprised you? And he was a country lad, and it was
yeah,
different. And he went, oh, he says, I was amazed there was cockroaches in Aberdeen. I says,
yeah.
okay. I says, and tell the audience, what's the difference between a German cockroach and an Oriental cockroach? No, we done a good job of explaining. I
Yeah.
says, well done. Then I looked at the camera and I says, but the main difference is when you stand in a German, it shouts Achtung. Well, he was driving at the time and that got 11,000 views.
Good.
And people would stop us both in the street. And so when I went from a heart bypass,
Yeah,
things didn't go too well. And I'm lying there and the surgeons had to come back and they were all around my bed. And they were just
yeah,
about to cut me open at the right-hand side and drain my lungs because I had punctured lungs. One
oh
of the
no,
young guys at the end, just a young guy, he says, excuse me, have you got a guy that works for you called X? I won't say his name. And he went, I says, McDartley Beers. I went, yeah. He says, it's him. He went viral. And all these young students knew who I was. And
did
even
they?
the surgeon put down everything and they started speaking about me. And they were meant to be operating on me. They remembered the video.
Wow, that's good. That is. It just
So
shows you, like
just
it just shows you. It does. I'm just trying to find my TikTok that went viral.
right.
Say viral, but I think that's a lot of views. I do what
That's
you
a lot
said
of it.
there.
I mean, I should go on TikTok more, but
Well, see. I've got one here on my open pest control one, and
okay.
it's literally just an information graph about varied carpet beetle with a song
Yeah,
on it.
very good.
84,000 views.
There you go.
So not all my posts do that. I'm sure I can't bloody find. I've got one at 25,000 views that says "Don't block the bloody hole," but I don't put it like that.
I
Tell
I
people,
think
with
I
Wasp
made one.
Nest.
I made one a couple of years ago. I haven't got right into it, and I got a dreary tune like death, and I give bed bug facts.
Yeah.
Do No.
That's it. I found it. The new one that you could say was more viral than the first.
Very good.
215,000 on TikTok, that one.
Yeah.
Don't block the hole again of a wasp nest. And you know how the public are. Half of them telling me he's an idiot. You can't block the hole. It will kill the wasp nest. And a load of them going, I tried that, and the thing with plasterboard.
No. That's the only thing I don't like about these sort of things. People come up and say stupid things that can.
I ignore it. I see it as great engagement now. I feed into it. I just say, like I go on Nextdoor app and I post stuff about wasp nest. Every summer, this guy comes on. He's polite, and he hates it because I thank him. Thank you because what happens is he tells her like, we're losing insects and so on. I just put thank you. He boosts the engagement goes up. The views go right up.
Yeah.
I thank him.
One of the problems I've got, in one of them, and in Facebook, I've actually got 3 channels, right? Because my memory, and because I keep losing my passwords, so I've ended up with 3 Facebook pages, and they will not help me. And it's the same way.
They won't.
They will not help me, and I'm trying to get through to them, but that's one of the things I find hard. And but I follow. I'll give you his name later if you want. I follow a guy.
Yeah.
Google Business Profile. Do you use it?
Yeah.
Well, I use it. I use it extensively because I follow a guru, right?
Yeah.
I follow it and I look at my stats every day to see how many, and it usually works out. If I've had, for example, if I've had 100 people view it, 50 of them call, and 50 of them go to the website.
Yeah, it's good.
Sometimes a couple don't. That's maybe me looking at it. And I love Google Business Profile. It's free.
I do Google Guaranteed as well. We do. That's paid for, but it gets us work. It gets us work. It does.
Yeah, I'm on Google Guaranteed, and
but with that, you got to be careful because if you see, I'm in a rural area.
Yeah.
Where if you're in a city, you could be up against dozens of pest control companies. See, where I am, there's not many on it. You see, so we're like top of the list for Oakham, obviously, because our name's Oakham Pest Control. So I'd imagine if you're in a city, it'd be a bit more.
You've basically got to have 2 minimum before they'll give you the leads, because I was in a course for it.
Yeah, right? I've just got up to 76. I've been trying this summer by actually asking people. It's working.
No. What I mean is, on Google Guaranteed, there's got to be 2 or more of you. If you're the only one, they won't give you the leads. They won't hand it over to you. There is this there's 3 or 4 players, but they're not local to me. If you get what I mean, they're just within the area. They are. I'll give you some tips later on about all that. I won't give everything away, but I've found a couple of things just recently that have really helped me. Really, really helped me. And I'm not giving it all away. You have to come in a paid course for it. It's helped me with reviews, and it's also helped me with the boost of what I do.
Yeah, it's good. Google's good. Is there any other ways you get business? Like, is it just website or?
You got to have a good website. You got to have so when I do my Google ads, they'll all go to a hidden. They go to a hidden landing page, and the only way they will get to that landing page is through the advert that I put out.
Yeah.
So we know that our advert is working, and I use a piece of software called Clicky.com, and it can tell you where they've come in and where they went out. If it was a paid ad, it can tell me all that. So am I a pest controller now? Not really. I'm the marketing bit of my business now.
You're the marketing guru. You are.
Yeah. But I feel guilty. I feel guilty because I don't go out and do much work. I have this year. I've done 12-hour shifts. The guys were shocked that I could still work. And just to show them I could still do it.
Exactly.
So basically, I do the marketing in order for them to get leads, to go and sell the leads, and actually to do the work as well. You know,
Yeah.
and
Do you do a lot of bird work as well?
no, not
So,
we don't do a lot of bird work. In the early days, I subcontracted it because we've got a lot of little businesses that we do, right?
yeah.
I couldn't afford to have a bird team.
Oh, that's
So
fair. I just wondered if you did any. That was all.
we do some, but big netting jobs now. I used to subcontract it out, but
Yeah.
they're getting far and few between now. We do a lot of houses. We do
Yeah.
things for houses, and where what my supervisor loves doing is clear outs, going in and clearing out pigeon muck and stuff like that. He loves
Oh,
it,
okay.
you know.
Good money, I think, isn't it? Is it?
And
I don't know.
and because of my age, he'd said one day, "Oh, we're going to have to get somebody to help us with this." With 4 stories up, and it
Yeah.
was pigeons had got in our room, and it was muck. And he said, "What we're going to do?" I says, "You're getting me." And he was shocked that I could climb that stairs and carry bags of fowl up and
Yeah.
down. And he says, "Peter, you're fitter than you think." I says,
Yeah.
"Never underestimate me.
Exactly.
I'm just not the marketing man,
Yeah. Well, you just proved that you can still do it. And more.
Yeah.
You have.
I mean, I'll tell you what. One of the biggest problems we've got in the industry is time. Okay, my guys are out there doing 8, 9.5 hour days, 10-hour days.
Yeah.
It's getting them sat down to do training. It's really, really difficult at this time of year.
Yeah.
And you can't expect them to go home and then do a course on their own. They're tired. They've got to see their wives. In fact, I met a new chap that started up here, and I says, "Here's a bit of advice I'm going to give you."
Yeah.
And what's that? I says, "Think of your family. Work Monday to Friday. Take your weekends off. Don't drop everything to go out for one wasp nest.
Yeah.
Put it in for Monday." And I met him recently. And he says, "Peter, what a great bit of advice that was." Competitor,
Yeah.
And I had one guy that started up, and he worked for me, and he decided to go. And I said to him, bumped into the street, and make sure I don't say names. And I said, "Listen, I don't mind if you get the work off me, but for God's sake, look at your pricing. It's far too low. You could get more money."
Yeah.
He's not in the industry anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he didn't last long. That's one of the problems we've got in the industry. People come in and they're far too cheap.
Yeah, it's like a lot of them try and get the work, and they haven't worked out whether they're actually making any money out of the actual job, and then they're not. So
it's a hard job. I mean, I'm £97.50 for a VAT plus VAT for a wasp nest up here, right? But it's hard to break that £100 barrier, though, and I want it broken. I'm wanting it to be 110.
We're on 100 plus VAT.
Are you on 100 plus VAT?
Yeah. We're getting it. So.
It's just that I says we can get it, and we'll get it. It's just a case of asking for it.
You say guaranteed. You say guaranteed. There they go.
We guarantee. However, not with bloody Vulcan. That's been a nightmare. Never had so many callbacks. Well, we've done a lot of wasp nests, but that is I've been crying over Flycam.
Yeah.
Now, the other product we've got, I call it CPW40. That's got 40% active ingredient. It's one of our strongest now. I just wish they could get that in a powder form.
I suppose.
Hint.
Well, the problem is, though, I mean, it takes even to get a product for them to read it. I'm hearing from what obviously people in the industry that a lot of the products now, when they register them or even do testing, you're talking 8 to 10 years, 6 years to get through if you're lucky.
Yeah,
it's taken that long to get them through.
If somebody brought back Flycam in a different way or something, I'd be paying 25% more for it, even 50% more for it.
You would, though, because Vicam D. One tub could
Suppliers, I
make
hope
you.
you're listening. Yeah.
It could make you thousands. But I will say one thing. I was speaking to a supplier, and they were speaking about Vicam, and they said that the actual companies that make it don't make what you think they do in
Right.
terms of the bottom line. They don't actually. Vicam wasn't a big earner for them, but they
No,
made it.
it's seasonal as well.
Yeah.
You know.
They said the pest controllers are the ones that make the most money out of each tub.
Yeah.
Which was true. You could make thousands of pounds out of one tub because you needed a little bit.
Yeah. But
you did.
A great product, but I remember Lindy, and it was 50% active ingredient.
Not heard of that one. Was that good too? Yes, I
presume. Oh, it was fantastic, but it was carcinogenic. That means you can get cancer.
Oh no!
So it came off the market. So it was 50%. Then it went down to 1%, and now it's down to 0.5%. So, I mean, that Perbio chalk, if you get a chance, just use it. It's marvelous. I would say my guys love it. But I found another one. It's £20 cheaper. Does the same job.
Well, if you can, you might as well buy it. But I think we've got some. I think we've. I have to have a look. I think we've got some of that. I haven't used it much. There is something we use for windowsills when we're doing
Clusterfly.
Yeah, it probably not. I can't think if it's Perbachop. But
no,
yeah, it's probably that.
So let me tell you, I'm 66 in January. That's me an old age picture. But one of the biggest disappointments for me recently was I was really high about it, right?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what it was. It was electronic trapping. I thought, oh, this is going to be the way forward.
Yeah.
This is going to be brilliant. They're sitting in their house and they've got 2 of my traps upstairs. I know if something's went off, they don't, and then give them a phone and say we're coming round and set off, and it's a real. But it just isn't right yet. And I thought that was going to be great for the industry, but I think we're going to be forced into that later because certainly in Germany and Denmark things are changing there, and that's what I think will be the biggest change in the industry long after I'm gone. You know,
yeah, well, we need to stop the lobbyists first because there is a digital trap company in the EU that is lobbying to ban rodenticides, and their main agenda is they want to digital trapping.
Yeah, and
I'm not saying the name of the company, but the name of the people were on the Beauties and Beasties. Sean didn't know that till after, but
send me a message after, tell me what it is. But I have looked at a few of them. I thought, wow.
I've done a digital trial of Sargenta's Secure Choice 24/7 monitoring, and nice of them to give me a go at doing it. 4 months it was. My thoughts will be in the MPTA newsletter because I've given my thoughts, but I'm not high on it. I'm not high on. What I do think is good though is instead getting the Reolink cameras up, cameras. And then you can point them at your traps or your whatever you've got, and then you will know what's in them. And
one of the biggest problems you've got, I don't like using customers' Wi-Fi because you're going into their system.
The Reolink cameras have got SIM cards in where you can use 4G or whatever you've got.
Yeah, but if you put one of them at every camera, that's still a lot of money.
Oh, I know it is. Yeah, you know? We've not got massively into it, but Mark Porter in London. He does very well on that. Most of his domestic customers, when he's doing a trapping program or whatever in people's loft spaces, he's got all rear links up and he charges accordingly. He does quite well out of that.
He'll do well in London. They've all got a lot of money down there, you know.
In London,
but there was a firm in Dublin. Was it? They started up. They had a good marketing campaign, but I think they got bought over by Terminix or something. I don't know. They were actually up here in Aberkil area, but it didn't work out so well, and that's what they were selling on, you know. But I don't know what's happened to them. Good sales pitch, but so that's what I think will be the biggest change in the industry. I mean, when I come to that being an OAP, you know, I found out there's a guy in Scotland, he's still got his pest control business. He's age 75.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
still doing it. But long term, I don't know what I'll do. I need to enjoy my life a bit now. I've enjoyed the industry.
Yeah.
You know, I've enjoyed the
You
industry.
definitely have. Oh,
Yeah.
it seems like you have anyway. It does.
It,
Um,
2 years ago, I was in a bad place because of the situation I was in.
Yeah.
But I've battled. I've nearly been dead 3 times in my life, and I just battled myself out of it again. You know, went through
yeah.
real. I got, you know, the consultant told me, he says, Peter, you're going to have a bad time till you get fixed, and it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. But we've got there. We're turning it around. You know,
That's
ready
good.
for the buyers knocking on my door. You know, I've already had one knock at my door because they know I'm going to be a pensioner.
Oh, trying to buy your company.
I've had a knock at the door. Just well, when I say a
Yeah.
knock, a phone call. I've had a
They're
couple.
trying to. There's a lot of companies trying to buy up everybody. There
Yeah,
is.
I don't know what it's like in England, but
Well, we get emails daily, but obviously they're not. We're only tiny. We're not.
oh,
The
I'm
idea is the business gets passed on to me, and
yeah,
hopefully, when my son gets older, and if
yeah.
he wants to get into it and take it on eventually,
Yeah.
it passed down the family line.
One of the
But
things that I've got
yeah,
up here is quite a niche area. You
yeah,
know, it's quite a solid. And people say, "Oh, we've got a national contract," and then they get one in Aberdeen. They go, "Oh, what are we going to do?"
yeah.
I don't do any subcontracting now.
No, okay.
So I just look after my own customers. Somebody said, I'll give you a story. Someone phoned me up and says, could you, a couple of years ago, could you go and do a wasp nest on our behalf? It was a Friday afternoon. I says, I could be there in half an hour. And I
Yeah,
told them the price. Oh, we're not paying that. I says, okay, I'll give you a wee bit of a discount since you're
yeah.
in it, and I can be there in half an hour. And they said, the boss says, can you do it for 50 quid? What? I says, I notice you're near Luton Airport. She goes, yeah, that's right. I says, use that 50 quid, come up and do it yourself.
Oh, they rang you near. Oh, well, you should charge 400 quid to go all the way down there.
I actually could have been there in half an hour to please that client for them.
Oh, sorry, their company was based in Luton.
They said,
could you? Oh, okay,
they were near
right.
Luton. They says, could you do a job in Aberdeen for me? And I'll give
Oh,
them
sorry, I get you now.
And so, no, we're not paying that. Said, well, jump in the plane from Luton and do it yourself.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
So I stopped doing subcontracting. Just look after my own customers now. And no, it's the same with these other groups that get other people to do it for them. You know who I mean, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And they
We don't do stuff like that. We don't.
yeah. So I don't. No, I don't. We just refuse point blank. You know, would you want more leads? We can pass it on and say, no, I'm not interested. I've got enough.
Yeah, we don't get involved because it's just
Yeah.
they promise the world and they give you nothing.
Yeah. So
So,
so that's my life in the industry, Sean.
it's been a fun one. I've never had so many good fun pest control stories. To be honest, it's been good.
I'm going to tell you the best story of my pest control career.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So I like World War II and things like that, right? I like studying it. So in Berlin, Rudolf Hess in Spandau prison was my next door neighbor. Okay.
Was they? Okay.
So if people know who Rudolf Hess is. But anyway, I went into a house and there was 2 guys putting in double glazing for this really prim and proper lady. She was old, but she was prim and proper. And I'd sit there. I looked at a book on the table and it said Life at Bletchley Park. And I said to her, you were there, were you? And she looked at me and she says, how did you know that? I says, because I can tell. I says, was you a maths teacher? And then she said, "How did you know that?" I said, "I can just tell." No, I
Yeah.
found out later she was actually a maths teacher at my school.
Oh wow, that's interesting. That.
I had a different teacher.
Yeah.
So I says to the guys that were putting in, I says, "You look after this old," well, I didn't say, "You look after this lady."
Yeah.
And she says, "How much am I owe you?" No, it was a wasp nest. It was 60 quid.
Yeah.
And I says to her, "We owe you." I says, £60. You have it on me. And you know what she said, Sean? She
What's
goes,
that?
"That's the first time I've ever
Hello.
been telling anybody what." Okay. So for 60 years, she couldn't even mention what they'd done. They can now. Well, most of them are gone. And
Right.
so when
We just missed
Nirvana,
that.
sorry?
I just missed that. You froze for a minute.
Okay. So she said to me, "That's the first time I've been paid back in 60 years, right?"
Okay. Right.
They
Yeah.
weren't allowed to tell Andy what they'd done during the war. So anyway, I says, "You have it on me." So I went out in my van and I had actually a tear in my eye and I thought, wow, that was a privilege. And you know
Nice.
what happened? The
Yeah.
phone rang.
Yeah.
A health and safety man I was dealing with for a shipping
Yeah.
company phoned me up and he says, "Peter, that ship's coming in." He says, "Be ready for it coming in."
Yeah.
It was £5,000, right, for the job.
Yeah. It's a big job.
And then he said, "When you've done that one," he says, "when you've done that one, there's another 3 following it. They're all yours."
That's something to do with that.
And I just give 60 quid
Yeah.
away. And I got all that money. So sometimes if people ask you for a discount and things like that in the plead, don't give them it.
Yeah.
But whoever you're working with, if you feel you want to give them a discount when they don't expect it.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. Just sometimes give. Sometimes I don't charge people. I'll just say, "No, you have that on me." You know, especially old ladies and they're nice and stuff like that. You know.
I know. It's like once my dad. I wasn't there one day, and a woman had 2 wasp nests, and she said, "Oh, I can only afford the first nest because you discount." And she's, "I can only afford that." And she's had young kids, and my dad just says, "Don't worry, I'll just pay for the first nest. I'll do the second one for nothing because
Yeah.
it's dangerous for your kids." So we do things like that sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. But
when you can generally see, she was like, "I'll just pay for the first, but I can't afford."
but
Dad just did the other one. He did.
but we're not a charity. We've got to.
Oh no, this was a one-off kind of thing. It's not on a
make-
daily basis.
Yeah, got to make a living.
Once in a while thing when you can genuinely see it, you can.
I like it when relatives who haven't spoken to me for years
Come out the woodwork.
and they've got a wasp nest. They give them a price and they go, "Oh," I says, "I've got men's wages to pay for." I says, "You should phone me more often. It would be cheaper."
There you go. You're right. You're not wrong there.
So
but yeah,
I don't know if there's anything else you want to ask me, Sean.
No, I think we've covered it. I think people have had a good time watching. Well, I've had a good time. I have. It's
anybody watching later, put questions in and I'll answer them for you. So I was asked what I'm going to do if I leave the industry or even now.
Yeah.
And I'm actually looking to do it now. Actually, I've been me and Chat GPT have been working away. I'm actually.
Oh, you use AI, do you? Like me, I ask it a lot of stuff. I do.
Oh, I speak to it. I even swore at it because I says, "I thought you knew everything." Yeah, and then I won't mention it. So, but what I look to do, because I have helped a couple of people. I'm maybe looking to make a course for people wanting to think about being a pest controller and making a course to show them what they need to do, but not train them, etc. And then once they're established and get trained, I'll become a mentor for them for so much per month.
Good idea. Good idea, that is.
That's my plan anyway.
It's a good idea. You've got all the experience and knowledge. You know what you're talking about. So
And you know something?
yeah,
I still learn something every week
love
with
that.
pest control.
I
Yeah.
love that because everyone, because I have heard people say there's nothing you can teach me, but I've noticed recently that over the past couple of years, these training days, no one really says that. Their mentalities have like kind of gone away. They
Yeah.
have as such. They have, but I like that. You're still learning every day, every week. You are. There's something new. There is. Oh, he's frozen. There is he there, Peter? Hang on. I'm sure he'll be back in a minute.
Right, that's it.
There we
So,
go. There we go. You're back. You froze for a second there.
yeah.
You did.
Okay.
But it's been a good time. Thanks for coming on, Peter. I really appreciate it. It's been fun. It
Yeah.
has. I'm sure people have learned something.
Oh, I hope so.
Most likely.
Yeah.
It's been a good chat. It is. But yeah, do you want to tell people where you're from and where they can find you if they want to talk to you? Or
They'll probably find me on Facebook. Some pest controllers follow me. They follow me on Facebook, Peter Stewart.
yeah,
I'm usually doing cycling and things like that, but you can also get me on Facebook at Aberkil Pest Control, all that. Just I've got to tell you that one because I've got about 4 of them.
yeah, because I accidentally tagged in just Aberkil. Then today I found Aberkil Pest Control. I did.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
It's got an emblem on it for best of 3 or something like that.
That's it. Because the other day I was tagging just Aberkil, but today I found Aberkil Pest Control. I did.
Yeah, that's the one you need to go to find me. I don't use LinkedIn much, but you can get me on any questions. You can get me on most. Yeah. If you want to find me, you'll find me, and you can ask me any questions or anything like that. And one of the things I found that if I'm up here and someone's away down the Midlands, and I've seen that happen a lot, and they ask for advice on a forum, I contact them and phone them, right?
Yeah.
And just go through and give them some ideas,
Yeah.
And I've seen some of them go on, but never hear from them again, But I don't mind.
Wow, I like to stay in contact with people, so I'll definitely stay in contact with you.
Yeah, we should all be helping each other as an industry.
I think it's the way forward. I do.
Yeah, but we're all in the same boat, trying to make a living. In the early days, I was quite an aggressive salesman, but only with the big boys.
Yeah,
just with the big boys, I get touring about them. But most of my work comes through marketing now. It's mostly inbound and people knowing the business, etc., etc., etc.
I suppose in your area, though, you've got a reputation and word of mouth as well. You have.
Yeah. Well, the piece of software I use and do things I use, 30% of my customers who phone in for pest control for one-offs are returning customers. And that works out at 30% each month are coming back to me, which is quite a high figure,
Oh, it is. It is a high figure. That's quite good, that is. Because we get customers every year.
Lot of things
These little bits and bobs.
I've just done a program with ChatGPT, and
yeah,
I'm putting a post a day, a lot of posts, and it's something I went, I'll use that, and it's something I put in the text that should bring up people in different areas with what I've written. Yeah, I'll tell you offline.
Yeah, I will. But yeah, thanks everyone, and I'll see you next week on Tuesday. I can't remember who we've got next week, but I will get hold of them. But thanks everyone. If you're on Spotify, please could you press follow? It really helps the show. Please share the show. If you're on YouTube, please press subscribe. It really helps. I'm trying to push YouTube. And if you're on Facebook, please press follow. It does help the algorithm and everything. But thanks everyone, and I'll see you all next week.
Even better than just following, make comments and that boosts it up.
It does. Make comments, please. Exactly. Thanks for that. But see you all next week.
Bye, everybody.